Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Dreamworld video, the last one of 2021. Before we start, I just want to say it's been a crazy year, both in gaming and in the real world, in Earth 1. And I hope all of you are going to have an amazing Christmas or whatever holiday you're celebrating this time of the year. Make sure to take some time off, chill, enjoy time with friends and family, and gaming, I guess. Now, without further ado, let's jump in to the patch notes. It's crazy to think we're on weekly alpha development release number 31. We've been following this train wreck cum redemption arc for over half a year. And honestly, I've had a lot of fun doing it. Both the bads and the goods. First off, patch highlights, Kickstarter Rewards. Now, we assumed that for some reason a lot of these things weren't going to be added because of technicalities or just reasons, limitations and other such things. First off, Dream/Dreadlord steeds, emotes, and auras. Now, I can't test any of these. I am not a backer. I did not back for a good reason, because the game was fucking atrocious and seemed like the biggest up-and-coming scam of the year. Following on with Kickstarter Rewards, fireworks that explode in your name. Now, this is another thing that was promised. I also don't have access to this. However, while I was gathering footage, I noticed that in my chest, someone had left me 10 fireworks. Now, this can only have been a developer as that chest is protected by a bubble around my house that I placed there. So that was really nice of the developers. Thank you very much. So in response to that, I'm going to launch a few of them for you. Now, these don't explode in my name, they are just fireworks, but they don't have the effect of lagging the game like it did in the trailer. It seems they fixed something with it, and I saw some launched on last week's stream. So, congratulations, working fireworks are in order. Icons, trophies and banners, bottom of asset catalogue. Again, I don't have access to these backer rewards, but I did see a lot of them around in the world in the form of banners. I imagine these are just going to be decorative things to show off, to show that you back the game. They're probably going to add banners for other things, such as events. I guess it's a cool little way to show off a collection of achievements in a physical form. I always like these sort of things in games. Nothing to complain about there. The icons, I would imagine, are going to be at the end of players' names, but I didn't bump into anyone while I was playing. I was only on for about 35 minutes, just to test out these patch notes. We might see them on tonight's stream later, and hopefully somebody will launch some fireworks so we can get to see what they look like exploding in someone's name, because I'm actually kind of interested to see how this works with longer names. Now, the one we've all been waiting for, the Pantheon, which, by the way, I just want to reiterate, the Pantheon is a collection of gods. What they actually mean is Parthenon, which is the building that this is inside. Names and custom messages. Now, I think they went overboard on this, because there are about 2,000 spots for people's messages. 2,000 people did not back this. There was only about 15 filled out on the wall, but it's cool to see that they've actually done it. It's got the player's name that backed it and their message of choice. Now, I was very sad to see that these were all very tame messages and there were no cryptic messages or memes hidden in there, unfortunately. Miniatures of player builds. Now, this is something that's quite cool to see. It's kind of like a gold or brass coloured miniature of the player's plot put inside the building. I see this getting out of control with lag because of the amount of components that are very small and all put together. They need some sort of like mesh combine plugin to just update it daily and not on the fly. Player statues. There are statues of some of the backers in there, but they all just say Elysian. They don't have the names on it. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but it is what it is. Now, something I did notice. Whenever I got near the Parthenon, it was incredibly laggy because of all these text render components that are just splattered all over the walls. They should get rid of those until somebody backs or buys or whatever will qualify you to go on there, because the lag is unreal. They also, for some reason, and I hate to be picky, but this is something that they got rid of and then they've re-added for some reason. There's just big floating books at the entrances to the building. It looks so out of place, garish, and just wrong. But for better or worse, they're just there. I really don't I really don't know. It's kind of like 3 steps forward, 2 steps back at this point, but hopefully they just remove them though, because they look horrendous. Next up, this one has been a long-awaited fix. Supercharger Integration. Now, the Supercharger, for those who don't know, is that CMD console that pops up every time you launch the game, and it's like a separate process that runs the networking side of things. It's just always been really unusual, felt really old and out of place. That's now integrated into the packet itself. So when you open Dreamworld, it's part of it. Now, a good side effect of this is the load times to get into the game have been pretty much slashed in half. It's incredibly fast to load up now. And I can only assume that's because the way they were doing it beforehand, both processes that launched were waiting for some sort of handshake to say that each process was running. And that just wasn't working. It was pretty awful. It was a bad player experience and it made no sense. That is now gone. It is now integrated. It's one less thing to have to worry about accidentally closing out of, or, you know, one program accidentally crashing and failing a handshake with the other. Good stuff. New look for most mobs. Now, guys, it's a sad day in Dreamworld. Stretchy pigs are no longer a thing. You are no longer able to roam around watching pulled pork stretching all over the map. I showcased this in a live stream. It's hilarious. What they'd done is originally they'd got it that ragdoll mode was affecting the length of the bones in the skeleton. Now it just affects the rotation of the joints. So, the stretchy pigs rip. But yes, as the patch says, new look for most mobs. So pigs and chickens are the only mobs I encountered during my play, and aside from the deer mount and the roaming deer. The roaming deer are still the old model, but honestly they were the least egregious model that was in the game. And you now have pretty cool looking boars and chickens that pretty well match the art style. So step in the right direction, looks good. Asset Catalog Tooltips. So there was this thing in the game that bugged me. No item had any tooltips to tell you what it was, including in the inventory and the catalogue of items you can place. They've now added very basic tooltips. It's clearly a first iteration. It's just a white tooltip with writing, but it tells you what items are. And in Dreamworld, there are over like 400 different items and resources, and honestly, you don't know what any of them are other than looking at the name. It now tells you, which is good. Now, they also have a Christmas Maker competition to submit a build, pretty much the same as Halloween. You get a Christmas pet, free plot in the city. Cool. There's nothing wrong with a little competition. I guess they're trying to drag more people in, which is proven by their ongoing offer that they have. Which, by the way, as a thank you to all you guys who have been watching this series throughout the year and following along diligently, I'm going to be giving away 4 copies of Dreamworld on tonight's live stream. I'll probably do this through playing marbles on stream, or it's just some fun little trivia giveaways. As my thank you back to you guys for following along with this, as it's honestly been an absolute roller coaster, and I've enjoyed doing it. I enjoy doing the weekly updates on Dreamworld. It's always a good source of comedy for me, and it's nice to see that developers are taking on board our criticisms and trying to make things right for the players who initially backed this. So, with that said, guys, I want to say a massive thank you to all of you, a Merry Christmas to all of you, and a Merry Christmas to the Dreamworld team. I don't expect an update off them next week, as it is the Christmas period, and people are going to be doing their own things. So, may not be a video next week, but if there is, I will let you know if that changes. As always, a huge thank you to the patrons. You guys are absolutely awesome. I'll catch you guys all over on the live stream. We're going to have a blast tonight. It's going to be a chill live stream, have some fun, and wind down, ready for the Christmas period. You guys know the drill. Have an awesome day and a fantastic Christmas. And I can't wait to see you all in the new year.